FUNCLE's Customs, where I find all kinds of cars in different places. I usually fix them and flip them, but sometimes I keep them. This is My Garage Revivals. A lot of things happened this weekend, but we also got our next customer vehicle delivered to our shop. Hello everybody and welcome back to My Garage Revivals. Right, so yes, it is Monday morning and yeah, we've had quite a bit of a busy weekend. As you can see, we've got a couple of projects in the shop. So yes, this is pretty much the one that came in yesterday. This is a guy called Eric's vehicle. This is a 1965 Ford Mustang, which has been in a little bit of an off-road accident. So apparently he was on his way to an off-road event and the car rolled over. So yeah, this is pretty much the aftermath of that. So we're going to be seeing if we can get this thing fixed up a little bit for him. So yeah, we're not going to be starting with this today though, because he still needs to send over a bunch of replacement parts. So yes, we are going to very much be fixing up the body and doing a couple of other odd things. It actually runs and drives quite well. So there's not really any mechanical problems with this thing. It's just we need to spice it up a little bit and give it a paint job. So that is pretty much what's going to happen with this car once we start working on it. So yeah, for now, we're just going to leave it in our little paint prep area because we've got quite a lot of work to do today. So as you can see, we've got our ramp truck over here. Which has got no ramp anymore because that has been removed. It's been sent to Richard and them to pretty much get it sorted out a little bit, take off all the rust, and just to make sure everything is pretty much 100% with the ramp itself. So yes, they are going to be sorting that out for us, but we will be doing some suspension work. So I did order a bunch of parts. We might actually still need to get a couple more things like a transfer case. But yes, that is all in good time. But yeah, we're pretty much going to rip out the engine and all of these rusty bits today, because I think it's just going to be better if we can make sure that the actual vehicle we're going to be hauling vehicles up and down with is going to be reliable. So yes, you will also notice that we've got a diesel engine over here up on the engine stand. So this is in fact a turbo diesel engine, and like I said, I'm going to be diesel swapping the truck, which is also why we've got this engine now. So I'm just going to pretty much start stripping this thing. I might do it in this episode if we have time for it. But yes, I do want to see if we can get the suspension sorted on the tow truck. And then also obviously sort out the engine. Maybe in the next episode we can get that sorted. But we need to do some finishing touches to this little Niva of ours, because I'm going to be sending this thing over to the auction pretty soon. Just noticed the radiator is looking a little bit bad in this, so I might actually order one of those before I send it off to auction. But yes, I actually want to swap out the interior on this thing today and just get everything buttoned up, install the missing parts we have missing on this thing, replace the windscreen wipers and stuff like that. So we also have got a headliner that needs to go in, and I also got this roof rack which we're going to be installing. So yes, that is pretty much what we need to do today. As you can see, I've started cleaning up the shop a little bit. We've got the old trusty shop truck over there. So I've started pretty much just putting stuff in the back of the truck to take over to the barn. There's our brand new headliner. So yes, we've got pretty much all the Ram truck spares over in this area. And then we've got the Niva parts over here. I did order a brand new exhaust as well for it, because obviously the one in the barn we have, that's a little bit worn, so I don't want to sell the car with a worn exhaust like that. So yeah, we've also got a new dash and some, like I said, missing pieces, and we're going to be replacing them with some chrome mirrors. So yeah, it's just a little bit of an upgrade for this little Niva, and I think it's going to fetch a little bit more money if we put a little bit of extra effort into it. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is, first of all, I need my screwdriver, which is currently over here on the table, because I've obviously had to take the wheels off and yeah, pretty much fool around with a couple of things over the weekend. In other news also, our little living quarters has been finished, well, the building part of it. So I still need to figure out yeah, what I'm gonna do with the layout on the inside. So they've painted the place. So yeah, I'm just letting it stand for a bit before we actually move in. So then we'll probably move in some furniture and stuff and just see how everything's gonna work out. So yeah, that is another thing that is at least happening in the shop. So I think what I'm gonna start with is pretty much the interior of this little Niva. So let's get all the doors open. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this headliner because we need to pretty much get this mounted to the roof, and then we're gonna secure it with the rear view mirror over here on the little shelf. Alright, so let's grab this. Alright, so that should hold it down. Just be sure to get those screws tightened down. There we go. Alright, so let's start with our dashboard now. We've got to take our dashboard out, because obviously this dashboard with the cluster is a little bit broken. So we're going to be pretty much replacing this, and that is pretty much the reason why this whole truck is here, because we're going to be disposing of a bunch of stuff, and we're also going to be putting some stuff in the storage. So yeah, that is my idea for after this episode has been recorded. We are going to pretty much do that off camera, just to get pretty much the shop cleaned up a bit. Alright, and there we go. We've got our new dashboard in. That is looking fairly decent. Alright, now if I'm not mistaken, I think this thing actually gets screwed down into place. Yes, we do have screws on this. So let's get those screws tightened down on that. Here we go. That is looking fairly decent. Right, so now pretty much next up we are going to be installing the new interior panels, which I've decided to go with the color gray. So we've got some gray interior bits to replace all of these with. So we've got new seats and all. So I'm pretty much going to be, yeah, putting the back seat in as well, because obviously we initially took it out because we were going to use the vehicle for transporting some stuff up and down. But that is no longer required because, yeah, pretty much we don't really need the Niva anymore because we've got our little box trailer. And yeah, we also got a ramp truck now. So yeah, it's pointless having 3 vehicles around the shop, just, you know, taking up space. So for that reason, I've decided that we can pretty much just get rid of the little Niva over here. Actually, I did run a poll on it on my Discord, asking people which one of the vehicles I should get rid of. And yes, this is pretty much the little Niva that has been voted for. Alright, so yeah, let's just put everything into our shop truck over here, and then we'll get that taken care of a bit later on. Alright, so we also need to replace a window lifter on this door. So let's maybe get that taken out. Alright, and let's put it down over here. We're going to pretty much replace the window as well onto this, because the window is still in good condition. So we'll get that bolted down again. And let's just get this into place and zip it down. Alright, and just like that. So this is pretty much rubbish. We'll go and take care of all the parts and stuff, sort out all the rubbish from the good parts. Alright, so then we'll grab this front right door panel. And let's get that bolted down. Okay, so we can pretty much continue with removing the rest of the other brown interior bits here. So you may have noticed we've got some different front seats we're going to be putting into this thing. I think those seats are just a little bit more luxurious and a little bit more comfortable. So these old ones are going to go back to our barn. We'll keep them around for a new project, or another project rather, in the future. Right, so let's grab these seats. I'm sure they will fit quite well actually. Yes, that is looking very good. Alright, and let's get it bolted down. Alright, let's grab the other front seat. Alright, there we go. That is definitely looking a little bit better already. Alright, there we go. There's the last bolt. Okay, and let's get this door panel removed. Alright, let's get this on the back of our truck over here. And this one. So that window winder is still working. I did check everything. Alright, and there we go. That is perfect. Okay, so let me quickly come in here and just remove these two, well, the handbrake and the gear lever from here. So this still works, but we're going to be replacing it with a grey one, matching one, as well as our gear stick over there. We'll also swap that out with the correct color then. Alright, and 2 bolts on this, and this one has got a screw actually, so we'll have to get our screwdriver. I think we are actually done with the wrench for this interior now. So let's just get this removed. Alright, and then we'll just pop it in our truck over here, like that, and let's grab this over here. There we go, that is our brand new gear stick installed, and yes, I think now we just pretty much need to pry out some of the bits and pieces on the inside. So we've got our pry tool on the table as well. Alright, and let's grab this one. This one is looking a little bit sad, so we might have to go and scrap that. Alright, so we've got our new panel for this side. And let's grab this one. Alright, that is that. Very good, and then we'll grab this one. Let's get this popped into place over there. And then we'll get the one removed from the trunk. Last but not least. And then we're going to grab this one. And let's pop it into place over there. Alright, perfect. So that is pretty much our little Niva sorted out. We just need to get rid of this nasty exhaust we've got on here. So yeah, that we can quickly do by just taking these 2 bolts out. And there we go, we've got the old one out. So I'll also take this to the barn. We're going to pretty much clean up a couple more things we have around the shop. Alright, so let's go and get this exhaust mounted. Okay, like that. And we'll zip it down. Perfect. So that is pretty much everything sorted. Oh, we've got a wrench in that toolbox already. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this little Niva out of the way because it's kind of standing in the doorway here and we need to carry a bunch of parts over here. But wait, I actually forgot about the little door mirrors. So let's quickly get those installed. And we've got our, obviously, our windscreen wipers we need to install as well. Nearly forgot about these little things. It's because they are so small. Alright, let's get that bolted down. Alright, and then we'll grab this one and we'll put it in the back of our truck over here. Alright, let's get this one installed. Alright, so now we're just going to remove our windscreen wipers, the old ones. And we've got some brand new ones that's going to be replacing these. It's a little bit hard grabbing it with the wrench in your hand. Alright, let's get rid of this one. Alright, so that's one of the old ones. We'll just chuck it over there. And I think these are interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which one goes which side. Alright, and let's bolt that down. Alright, we'll grab this one as well. Alright, so there we go. Alright, let's get this last piece installed. Then I think we are done with this vehicle. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, that actually turned out quite well, and I think it looks a little bit better. So, now that we are not missing any more parts on this thing, I think, yeah, we should get a little bit more money for it. It looks a little bit better. I'll just maybe get a new radiator as well before I send it off to auction. because obviously that one is looking a little bit bad, and I might actually just replace the grill as well, because we've got a bunch of yeah, dirty marks stuck to this thing. So that's something we're going to sort out as well. But yes, I think we are now good to pretty much pull this thing just around into the parking lot outside. Alright, so let me take this for one last little drive. And I must say, this little vehicle was actually very economical. For the time we had it, I only put gasoline in this thing once. And it's still running on that tank, and it's more than halfway, as you can see. Alright, so there we go. We've got our little Niva parked outside, and I think it's just going to be a bit better outside when it's out of the way. Alright, so now we pretty much need to tackle our ramp truck over on the lift, because there's a lot of things I need to get done on this thing. So obviously I did take off the wheels and replaced all of the tires, which we bought in the last episode on Friday. So those has been sorted out already. But yes, we need to pretty much get all of these parts sorted out, all of the suspension. So we are going to be pretty much doing a whole rear end replacement on this truck, because this one is very rusty and old. And we also have got new brakes, as you can see, new brake shoes and all that. And I've also got a bunch of other replacement suspension parts we're going to be sorting out on this thing. So yeah, that is pretty much my idea for this. So I'm just going to start stripping off this rear suspension, and we'll work our way forward. We also have got a replacement hub for this, so there's no point in really trying to salvage any of that. So that can pretty much come out, but this one on this side, however, is something we are going to be trying to salvage. So that is why I had the screwdriver on there, because we need to take out this little screw over here. Just so that we can free our hub over here. Alright, so there it goes. Alright, perfect. And then we are going to grab our wrench. And I think these are also just 4 bolts. Yeah, that's a pretty standard universal thing all the way around. Alright, so we've got our hub taken out. So this one is still in decent condition. I think we'll be able to reuse this, but I did order a brand new one for the other side. So yeah, I'm not going to bother with taking out the brake shoes and all that from this particular differential or rear axle, because obviously there's no parts usable on this thing except for our little drive differential. We'll probably have to take that out. So let's quickly do these bolts out. Then I think we'll be able to drop this thing down. Let me see if I can reach it from the top. There we go. That's a little bit easier. Alright, so there we go. That's our rear end or our differential. So we can pretty much reinstall that on the new axle we've got. Alright, so we've got all those out. That one is loose, and I think we need to take off our shock absorbers as well. Alright, so we've also got new shock absorbers. Right, so I think if we take these 4 screws out, or bolts, there we go, that is pretty much everything. So that is looking quite bad by the looks of it. So yeah, as I said, all of this is going to be replaced. So this can pretty much go straight to our shop truck, because I'm gonna, yeah, get rid of all the trash as we go along. So yes, let's grab our brand new rear axle over here and start assembling this. We do have new leaf springs as well for the rear, so I've decided to go with some these are high ones, high lifted springs. So those are gonna just help compensate for the weight we're gonna be putting on the back of this thing. So we need to replace these, both of them. So let's bring them a little bit closer. Right, so there they are. Alright, and then we'll grab our axle over here. Alright, and then we'll start bolting parts onto this thing. Let's just put these in a backpack quick, and we'll carry them over here. Alright, and then I think what else do we need? We need our new shock absorbers. So this is a rear one and that's a rear one. Alright, so we are gonna pretty much install all the rear parts first. I don't think there's anything else we need from the pile over here for the back, except for the gas tank, which we are going to be replacing as well. So we'll bring this a little bit closer over here. Alright, let's get these old, yeah, I don't think these rear leaf springs are really that worn. Just trying to figure out where the bolt is on this. And we'll get that one removed, and then this should come out quite easily. These still seem decent, but the front ones are a little bit worn. So obviously these will probably be replaced at some point. Alright, so that is going to give us a little bit more of a, yeah, I don't know, really like a lean to the front. As I said, it's definitely going to be good to compensate for the weight we're going to be putting on the back of this thing. Although this one doesn't look that good, it still looks better than the ones we have at the front. Alright, so let's grab our other leaf spring, get it into place. Alright, I think we are finally ready to start putting this thing back together. So I did forget to bring over the one hub that we need to replace on this. So we'll quickly go and grab that. Alright, so let's slide this one in, and then we'll get the other one over here. And we also got new drive shafts that needs to go in, but the one at the back still seems to be good. Alright, I think we've got all those. Alright, that is fairly decent. Okay, so let's grab our brake shoes over here. And we've got our new shock absorbers, which we will just put down there for now. Alright, so there are 2 of these in a box. I think these are the other shoes. There they go. Alright, and we're going to need some brake lines. The brake lines we could actually just mount now. There we go. Let's get these brake shoes in. There they go. That is perfect. And these ones, just like that. Right now, I think we can get our brake drums installed. Alright, so our brake drums are in place. Now we can pretty much just grab these little hubs and get them installed again. And this is pretty much where our heavy duty wheels mount to. So let's grab these, both of them, make sure they are tightened down. Alright, let's quickly get these shocks installed. I think they go somewhere in the middle over here. There's the bracket over there. Alright, let's tighten that down. And let's get this one into position over here. We'll tighten that down as well. Right, I think it's pretty much time for our axle to go in. But before I forget, let's get our handbrake cable on this as well. Fairly simple. We've got a bolt on each side. There we go, and then we'll grab our axle. Alright, so we've got our axle in, finally. But we had to take off our handbrake cable again, because it didn't want to go in with that installed. And I also took off the shocks, because I thought that was also part of the issue over here. But I think pretty much the handbrake cable is a little bit of a, yeah, tricky situation at this point. So we'll figure this out maybe when the truck is lowered down. We'll see if that can go on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much get my drive shaft back into place, because obviously I had to take that off as well. I thought that was part of the issue why this thing wasn't going to go back in. But yes, we've got it pretty much back into place. So I actually lifted the truck a little bit higher as well, because, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out these things. Alright, let's just be sure to tighten these brake hoses down as well into place. just like that. So we've got that sorted. And I think we are ready to take the gas tank out. Alright, so this has still got a little bit of gas in it. But we have to replace it anyway because it's so rusty, and we're going to have to put in some diesel, which is what we've got in this little jerry can over here. So I did go and buy another gas can just for that. Alright, so let's get our rear wheels mounted again. Alright, there's a lot of bolts on these. Just make sure we've got all of them. Do we have them? Yes, we do. Alright, and then let's get our dually wheel on, or our second wheel. There we go. That is pretty much as good as it gets. Alright, let's go around this side. Gonna pretty much install this one. Alright, let's grab the second wheel. Alright, so there we go. We've got our rear suspension sorted out. Everything has been pretty much replaced at the back of this vehicle. It's just our handbrake cable, which I'm not sure how we're going to get it on. So I want to try and see one more time if I lower it down completely, if this is going to go on now. Alright, so there we go. We've got our handbrake cable in place. And let's just bolt these two bolts down. There we go. Alright, so we can lift it up again. Perfect. Alright, so that is our rear end done. So let's start with our front suspension. So obviously we are going to replace this front and the middle drive shafts as well, because they are looking a little bit tired. As you can see, that is not doing too well. So we'll just put the parts on the pile over here for now until we've got everything off pretty much. We also got a new steering box coming in, and we've got this steering link we're going to replace. So yeah, there's quite a bit of things we need to do on this still. So let's get this drive shaft removed. Okay, so there we go. That is, yeah, that is also busted. Let's just get this out of the way. Alright, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to start in this corner. We're going to take everything off that we are going to be replacing on the truck as well. So this hub is pretty much an extension for the dually wheels or the heavy duty wheels. So we'll get that out of the way. We're going to be putting that back. Let's get our brake caliper removed over here. And pretty much get everything out of the way. This caliper doesn't look too bad, but you guys know me by now. I would rather replace it while I'm busy with it. And it's also inexpensive. We've got a decent looking brake disc on that corner, but we are going to be replacing both of them. So let's get this one removed. Oh, this one doesn't look too bad. It actually is kind of new, so we'll maybe keep that on the shelf just for the time being. Alright, and then over here we've got pretty much our hub that can come off now. Alright, so that is looking good still. We've got our knuckle we're going to replace. But I think we need to take off this as well. So let's get this out of the way. This is our steering link. So let's just put it down over here, and let's see what else we need to take off over here. We've got our tie rod, I believe. This is what they call it. Let's just lower that down. Alright, so, and there goes the whole assembly now. Where did that, oh, there we go. Alright, so that is good. So we've got new half axles as well, so we're going to replace both of them. Alright, now I think we can go over to this side and just pretty much take everything off as well. Alright, so there's the heavy duty hub. Let's just put it down. Let's get our screwdriver again. Alright, let's get this caliper off first. Oh, that doesn't look too bad actually. But we'll replace all of these brake parts on this thing. Alright, and then I think let's grab our brake disc. This one is definitely looking quite bad, so we'll put that on the trash pile rather. Okay, let's see what else we need to do over here. We've got our knuckle coming out. Let's get our hub off first. Here's our hub. Let's get this removed. And then this should slide out as well. Our half axle. So let's get this over on the worn pile over here. Alright, let's see. Front shock absorbers. I think that's also holding this thing in. Alright, so there goes that one. I think it's that one and that bolt. Then we should be able to take this front axle off now by the looks of it. Just got to take off all of these bolts. Alright, and on this side. And there's our front axle. Alright, that wasn't too bad of a job. Alright, so let's get our front leaf springs removed. There we go. That is pretty much trash as well. So we've got two brand new ones for the front. Alright, and let's get this one off as well. Alright, that is also looking bad. Good thing we are replacing all of these worn parts. So next up, I would like to take off the cross member over here. So we're going to have to unbolt the engine block, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reach it from this high. Just go down. Right, let's unbolt that. And that one. Right, now we can go back up again. Alright, I think that's high enough. Let's see if this is going to come out now. Alright, and this bolt and that one. Alright, so that is our rusty old cross member out of the truck. And then last but not least, we've got a new steering box and also the steering column, which we're going to be replacing on this. So let's get this out of the way. There we go. That is also scrap. Alright, I believe that is pretty much everything we need to replace over here. So what I'm going to do now is pretty much just take off the exhaust system, because we are going to replace it with the diesel exhaust once we get our diesel engine fitted. Alright, let's take off this one as well. Alright, just like that. So we've got pretty much everything stripped off now. So let me quickly just see what we're gonna pretty much scrap over here. These shock absorbers are gonna be scrapped. So let's just chuck these on the pile over there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much pick up all the parts here we're gonna take over to the truck. So these can go in the backpack. And then we're gonna bring all of these parts over. Alright, so we've got our parts ready. And I think we can pretty much start putting new parts back into this truck now. So we do also have got our gearbox for our diesel engine, as well as a brand new radiator, which I'm going to install, because obviously that radiator is also looking a little bit bad. Right, so I think we can pretty much start with the cross member and just get this back into place. Just like that. And then we'll get our new leaf springs mounted. Just like this. And we are kicking the parts around a bit, but that's okay. Alright, and then this one is pretty much over here and over there. That is sorted. Alright, let's get our axle in. Alright, we'll secure it on all the bolts on these U-bolts. Just like that. That is sorted out. Right, so I think let's get our axles installed. So we've got our one on this side. There we go, the front right. Right, that should keep that into place. Right, and let's grab the other half axle over here. And there we go, we've got this one over here. Just bolt it down. Just like that. And then let's grab our hubs. Get these hubs back into place. And then it's pretty much just all the rest of these parts. So we can get our steering box back into the vehicle. Just like that. There we go. Right, so this is our middle drive shaft going from the front over here to the transfer case, which we're also going to have to replace at some point. Because it is a little bit rusty, but it still works. But we'll get a new one of those. Alright, so there's no bolts on the front. Alright, this is the one between the transfer case and the gearbox. So let's get that into place. But we're not going to tighten that up because we are going to be taking this gearbox out. Alright, so let's just continue with the suspension first. Alright, so we've got our front shocks. And let's get the other one in. Just like that. Alright, and now we can get our tie rod back into place. Can go over here. It's pretty much a link between the two wheels at the front. And we've got our steering link. There we go. Let's just get that bolted down over there and pretty much over here. Alright, I think it's pretty much time for our brakes now. So let's get our brake calipers sorted out with some brake pads. That's an empty box. Alright, let's get these installed. Pretty much like that. And then we've got our brake hoses. So we'll put it into place. Just bolt that down. And just like that. So let's grab our brake discs. Alright, let's get the other one. Alright, perfect. So that is our brake discs installed. Now we just need to get these calipers mounted. So this is the front left. So let's get this one in place. Alright, and let's bolt it down. And over here. Perfect. Let's go get the last one. Alright, so there's our last caliper sorted out. Alright, so let's get some wheels back onto this truck. And then we're going to lower it down to see if we can get our gearbox removed. And we're also going to remove our radiator and our steering column, which we will also need to push the truck a little bit forward for maybe. No, we'll be fine. It's sticking out quite a bit at the front. Alright, so there we go. All of those bolts are tightened down. And then now it's pretty much just the last one over here. Okay, I think we've got all of those. And let's get our wheel installed. Alright, perfect. I think we are pretty much ready to lower this thing down again. And then we're going to get our transmission and our engine pulled out of this thing. We're going to get our new radiator installed. And we're also going to be, pretty much just making sure everything is ready to get sorted out on this thing. Right, so that should allow us to remove our gearbox if we take this off, as well as the wire over there. Alright, so there's the old gearbox, which isn't in bad condition. The starter, however, doesn't look that good. So we'll probably keep the gearbox around, but we'll get rid of the starter. So let's quickly remove the starter from this. Alright, so the starter can pretty much go and get scrapped. Alright, so we are here now. We are going to remove the front radiator. We are going to remove the bolts on both sides. There's another bolt over there, down there, and then up and out she goes. Alright, so we've got our old radiator out, and you can clearly see the difference. That is definitely worn. So we've got brand new radiator hoses on this thing as well. So there we go. That is good. And this one, and down there. Alright, so now I did loosen up some of these wires already. We've got that loose. We've got this loose. Let's just check up on that. Okay, let's get that removed again. Alright, so and then we're gonna pretty much pull our fuel line. And there she goes. Alright, so we've got our engine removed from the car, and it is, yeah, not looking very well. So this is just one of many engines that we have currently in the shop. So we could probably rebuild a proper engine out of most of the parts we have here, especially some of the parts in our barn. We've got a decent engine part. Well, we've got some decent engine parts in the barn as well. So now I think we'll be able to get our new gearbox mounted. So let's get this into place. And then let's get this truck lifted up again. Alright, and we'll come under the truck over here like this. And just be sure to bolt all of these down. And there we go. Alright, so we pretty much just need to replace this transfer case, which I'm going to pretty much order. Because I actually forgot about ordering this thing. So yes, we'll order a new one of these and get that installed. But I think for now we're just going to lower this truck down again, because I need to get to that steering column and see if we can get that brand new steering column of ours fitted. Let's just pick this up before we forget about it down there. Alright, and let's open our door. We're going to come and pretty much unbolt the steering wheel. So let's get our pry tool over here. Alright, and pop this off. Alright, so there goes our wheel horn, steering wheel horn, and then we're going to unbolt this. Alright, so there's our steering wheel. Just set that down over there, and then hopefully we'll be able to reach the bolts. They are a little bit tricky, so we're going to have to remove our bench seat over here by the looks of it. So let's quickly do that. Alright, so we need to get behind the carpet for this. Alright, so let's get this seat unbolted on this side as well. And we'll grab it. Alright, so here's our carpet. That is out of the way for now. Right, so now it's just these bolts on the firewall for the steering column. Looks like there's 4 of them. Alright, so there we go. That is our old rusty steering column, and we're going to install a brand new one. Alright, so yeah, this truck has still got quite a lot of work. We're going to be doing quite a lot of things to this before it's really going to be perfect, but at the moment I'm just trying to get this thing in a state where it's going to be reliable enough so that we can start using it for, yeah, hauling vehicles up and down, because that way we'll be pretty much able to collect customer vehicles in the future, because at the moment the trailer is all we've got, and it's very hard towing at a great distance with that trailer. So I think the better the vehicle is we are going to be towing with, the safer it's going to be for us. But we are going to be able to tow 2 vehicles with the trailer, but that's also another thing I'm not really fond of trying, because it's going to be a little bit of an issue. Maybe, you know, with the weight, especially if we've got a an older shop truck like this, towing a trailer with another car on top of it and a car on the truck itself, it's going to be a little bit too heavy maybe for this, but it's something we can test, so I don't know. But yes, I think that is going to be a wrap for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like, and also if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio!